Nick Gerleo, 40 Robinson Road. So while I'm glad that we're not going to be taking a vote tonight on the value aligned ordinance, I do think the decision to table discussion on it was pretty cowardly, given there's an obvious presence of people here who are going to speak against it. Applaud the councilor who voted against the motion table, as well as moved to take public comment out of order, so people do have that opportunity to voice their thoughts. My comments, which I'm going to be discussing, were assuming that we would be having that discussion tonight, so forgive me if they're a little off to some extent, but I'm very disappointed that looking at the draft of the ordinance between the last public meeting and this one, that exactly 0 changes were made, 0 edits, despite extensive public comment at the last meeting from many people, including myself, who were critical of the language. Speaking just for me, I pointed out that subsection D of section 2-697, that's the part on divesting from human rights abusers, is very disturbingly vague. And I've yet to receive an answer to the question I asked for the record at the last meeting on this. Who makes a determination that a company or entity has severely violated, quoting from the ordinance as drafted, human rights and international humanitarian law as determined by international legal and humanities bodies, including the United Nations, unquote. Maybe it's implied that this would be the treasurer based on the next section of the draft, but is the treasurer at all qualified to make this determination? Does she have a degree in international relations? Does she have a degree or is she an international law attorney? I mean, I call on all of you to ask the treasurer at the next discussion to come here and actually provide some information as to will they be qualified at all to make these determinations the ordinance calls for if the ordinance were to be approved. So since it remains completely unchanged between the last meeting and this one, I have to oppose it in its entirety. I think the vagueness and the overbreath is just going to open the door to political abuses. And I definitely agree this will include targeting based on religious affiliation. So an absolute minimum, I'd hope the council, when this comes up again, would strike subsection D entirely. If they're not willing to do that, you definitely should not approve this ordinance until that language is made more specific. I would ask, which companies and entities do you want to sanction? Name them explicitly. If that includes the entire country of Israel, don't hide the ball. Some of you have made it very clear your legislative intent is to target Israel, but at least own up to that and hear what the public has to say in response. Thank you.